This is Miss chOci Gray, and she's going to talk to us about Kingston, North Carolina.
How's everyone doing today? I have a question for someone, for everyone. Do y'all know why the chicken never made it across the road? Any answers at all? He was trying to do the funky chicken. Just to get a laugh and break it up a little bit. I'm an artist. I am from Kingston, North Carolina, but I was born in LaGrange, a little town called Bunkleberries. And to tell you how artistic I am, I wanted to dress up so I would go out into the cornfield and just cross the road and make me a corn skirt. And also go around the edge of the yard. There was wild blueberries, raspberries, and cherries. And I would take them and paint me some lipstick up there and make myself look just pretty. I also like to play in the dirt. I made many and many a beautiful mud cakes. Anybody know anything about that? Okay, also in the cornfield, I made some corn dogs too. I could take that little stick and rub it down that corn string and it will curl right up. Anybody know anything about that? Also, to bring it back to my early age, my aunt lived in Richmond, Virginia, and she would just come down this little dirt road. Would just love to see her coming. See that pink car coming? Because we know that she had some big brown albums to go on our stereo. And she would give me like a couple of dollars to dance. She will always bring some James Brown music home. And she was like, go on out there and dance and show me what you're working with. I'll give you a couple of dollars. So I said, okay, well, put that big album on. I'm going to go show you. So she put that one out there, and it would be James Brown music. It was like, go do it, girl. I'm like, I'm just doing that a little bit. But anyway, when I was listening to that music, I never knew that Maceo Parker and Dick Knight lived in the same town I did. And I was just a little girl. It took me years to figure that out until I nominated Maceo Parker for the North Carolina Country Heritage Award in 2016. I felt real good about that because out of 10 million people in the state of North Carolina, this little bit old country girl did that and put the worldwide famous Maceo Parker up so that North Carolina could show him some love in his own home state. So I love that feeling. I wrote it back around to Mr. Dick Knight, who is the 2018 North Carolina Heritage Award winner. I'm gonna pass the peas like they used to say. Pass the peas like they used to say. Pass the mic like they used to say. Pass the mic like they used to say.
Pass the peas. Now, Miss chOci, she asked me to come down to Kingston and help to tell the history of Kingston. And I wanted to tell that it was more than a 250-year-old. See, in 2012, they were celebrating 250 years from 1762 as a British Kingston. And I explained to her that it was more than a slave trading center for Eastern North Carolina. But it was, in fact, the birth of funk, the center of the birth of funk. And I designed an exhibit at the North Carolina Museum of History called Eastern North Carolina and the Birth of Funk. And what I'm going to do while Mr. Dick Knight is reading, is playing, I'm going to read part of the panels. Eastern North Carolina brings the funk. When funk, musician Maceo Parker described funk in the following way. He says, some music is listening music, while other types of music may be more reverent. But our music makes you want to dance to the rhythm and bring the funk. So this genre first emerged within the American music scene in the mid-early 1960s. African-American music pioneers from Eastern North Carolina helped to create funk when they joined up with James Brown in 1964 on the world-famous Grits and Soul. Anybody remember that album? Grits and Soul. All right. Now, Lenore County natives, Nat Jones, super producer, and musical valedictorian from North Carolina Central, 1960, along with Maceo Parker and his brother Melvin Parker, the original funky drummer, Levi Raspberry, and you're listening to the world-famous trumpeter Dick Knight. That changed the musical scene. Hit it. Now performers, yes, like Mr. Dick Knight, encourage all races to willfully integrate. Because see, James Brown was not only a master showman, but he was also a master businessman. And what he wanted to do was to get these professional musicians like Florida A&M graduate and drum major Dick Knight to help integrate these newly integrated venues. So Kingston artists played with James Brown and his band throughout the segregated South, inspiring a new and hip generation to get funky by creating a form of music that compelled youngsters from distant ethnic groups to get together and dance, thus helping to ease racial tensions after the passage of the 1964 Civil Rights Act and the 1965 Voting Rights Act. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see Mr. Dick Knight live, Momentum Theater, May 23rd for the North Carolina Heritage Awards.